Tonight on Crossfire, they're already among the brightest sports stars, bringing in millions for their schools and TV. So why not pay student athletes?
From an age as early as 4 years old, 74,000 people in the United States dedicate their time to acquire a skill that they will likely not be paid for. Today, there are over 74,000 collegiate athletes that participate in different sports, male and female. These athletes go through unusually hard circumstances to achieve their goals and earn a spot on a collegiate level team. In addition, countless hours, days, and years are dedicated to the achievement of their position, all while being held to the same academic standards as all other students. Collegiate athletes across the nation are responsible for producing a considerable amount of income for universities and colleges, but institutions fail to recognize the efforts of these athletes. Although collegiate athletes work hard and produce large quantities of money, they do not get paid beyond their scholastic expenses. Collegiate athletes' skills are being abused and degraded. Collegiate athletes should receive proper compensation for their time, efforts, and skills.
We can agree that playing any sport at a collegiate level takes a great deal of skill. It is common for high-skill jobs to pay well above minimum wage. A great example is the National Football League. NFL teams pay players anywhere from $450,000 to $28 million per year. In comparison, collegiate athletes only get enough money to cover tuition and housing at best. For example, UTEP tuition is an average of $3,500 per full-time semester, and the amount is far from reflecting the value of players' skills. Although many collegiate football players possess similar skills to players in the NFL, collegiate athletes are not being recompensed anywhere to close to the degree of their unique abilities.
Furthermore, athletes dedicate large quantities of time for practices, meetings, and events that add up to an amount of hours very similar to a full-time job, and which they do not receive pay for. In addition, all the time athletes invest to their sports produces large amounts of revenue. The NCAA made a total of $989 million in revenue from collegiate sports in 2014. That's not to include the NAIA or any other athletic institutions. Athletes' skills and inability to pay tuition are being exploited in such a way that tuition costs are set as limits.
It's incredible how much money is being made. The president of the NCAA makes $1.7 million a year, yet the people who are performing and generating this cash do not get to participate in any way. And if they get hurt or anything, a lot of times they lose their scholarship. They don't even get to graduate. They have to pay their own way through school. I think that's a travesty, and something needs to be done about it.
In contrast, many people claim that athletes do get paid, and they should not get paid amounts that exceed their tuition and housing. The claim for this argument often pertains to the concern that athletes would attend college for the sole purpose of earning money and not for an education. Furthermore, legislation bill Title IX does not allow public universities' spending budget to be greater on the male side than the female side. Given that male basketball and football are the sports that bring in the most revenue, it would be difficult to maintain a balance between male and female funds. Although Title IX does restrict universities from distributing funds unequally from male and female clubs, the funds do not have to come from the university's budget. The players can be paid based off the revenue made from the events according with their sports. Furthermore, given that athletes' eligibility to play is held to the same academic standards as non-athletes, all athletes must have a reputable academic standing rather than just playing for money. College athletes work at what they do far too hard and far too long for them not to get compensated properly. These athletes earn their positions because no one else could do it any better. They are the best amongst millions of other athletes, and it is time to recognize their efforts and properly compensate them. It is time for the ones who perform to receive their fair share of all the money that gets dispersed among the NCAA bureaucracy.